Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Soviet Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the Scourge Kirovets-1. Now the Kirovets-1 is a fantastic little Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, and it's basically the Object 7032 but with one gun. And obviously this tank came out a long time ago now at this point. But it was basically the 7032 but without the two double barrel, well, without the double barrel. And if you haven't guessed by the title, as always, this is the video for which I will achieve the third mark of excellence in the tank, so the games leading up to and then achieving it. And yeah, the Scourge Kirovets-1 was definitely one of my favourite Russian tier 8s for quite a while, and it was definitely one of the best IS variants as well for a very long time as well, because the armour was really, really nice. You know, it was better than some of the other ISs as well, and you side scrape a little bit better with it and stuff like that because it doesn't have a pike nose and the front is flatter. Plus you had the gun as well, which was the same gun you get on the IS-3A and the Stockade and all those lovely tanks, which had lovely shell velocity at 1400 meters a second on the standard APCR with 221 pen. But the accuracy was 0.45, which was slightly better than some of those as well. The aim time at 3.1 was slightly better. The mobility was definitely very nice on this tank at 42 kilometers an hour with a good power to weight, which meant that you hit it. The only thing that held it back a little bit was ground resistances, but you can help those for sure with stuff like off-road driving. And it just meant that you could just glide about at 42 kilometers an hour, have really nice armour, actually armour that was pretty much better than any of the others, just in the way that it worked, and then a very, very nice gun on top of that with pretty nice DPM, and it just made this tank absolutely glorious. Now, there is other tanks like the Glory IS-5 these days that have been buffed a lot more, so they're actually more competitive and more viable compared to this thing, and obviously the recent release of the 7032, which has that double barrel effect and has that deadly ability to just dump out rounds very, very quickly. But does that mean that the Scourge is now terrible? No, obviously not. The Scourge is now still damn nice, and it obviously still has better reloads than the 7032. It just doesn't have the ability to just double shot or, fire very, very quickly either. And it's just a pretty damn solid heavy tank to play, and I really did enjoy grinding out the third mark of excellence on this tank. I've just got the Kirovets-1, the unskinned version to go now. But yeah, it's definitely a very fun tank. You can use the armour. It's just a steady eddy of a tank. You just consistently pump out the damage, use the armour to good effect, and then use the pretty damn nice gun alongside it as well. And I mean, you've got pretty damn good premium rounds at 270 heat pen as well, which means that you can butcher quite a few tanks. And when you're bottom tier, the gun, with those premium rounds, you can have a pretty nice time actually penning those shots. So what do I run in terms of a crew on the Scourge Kirovets-1? Well, on the Kirovets-1, I do run a pretty typical heavy tank crew. I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanics, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Off-Road Driving. Off-Road Driving to help the ground resistances, to be able to get to that top speed of 42 kilometers an hour much easier on most terrains. The gun handling perks, because you do have 0.5 accuracy, 4.5 accuracy, sorry. You have 0.45 accuracy, so I still want to help this gun out as much as I can do, because it is derpy. You have to help it as much as possible. And then all the other perks are generally what you're going to take on a heavy tank. But with off-road driving, you could change that if you wanted to and run rapid aim as well, because the turret traverse on this tank is a little bit slow at times, so you could definitely run rapid aim to be able to get this turret on target a little bit quicker. And in terms of equipment, I run the advanced loader, the gun stabilizer, and optics. Optics to be able to spot for myself, because you do have a 360 meters view range, which is really not very good at all. So you really want to help buff up the view range if you can in this tank, so you can at least spot the targets that are trying to shoot at you. Because if you don't help the spotting, you're going to get outspotted all the time, and then things can start to farm you before you even realise it. Especially in the tier 10 games, which you're going to get a decent amount of, naturally you're going to get outspotted all the time. You want to have some chance of at least spotting for yourself. The stabilizers, because obviously you want to be able to make this gun good, and the advanced loader to make your DPM 10% better as always. So in this first game, as you can see, it was a wee while ago. We've got 4.3k damage with 1481 assistance. We're just trying to get back to the cap to get another shot of damage, which we do manage to get back. We're just waiting for the aim time to come in, slap the shot into the IS-3, and we are 3 seconds away from capping, which we do, so we do end up winning the game there. And we finished the game with 4.7 thousand damage, 1481 assistance, the epic victory, 6 kills, which is always great when you get that top gun. Good amount of credits of 230,000, the ace tanker, the top gun, the high caliber, the sniper medal, 2016 base XP. A really nice game there for the Scourge Kirovets-1 on Dragon's Ridge. And we're on to the second replay, the final replay of the video. So this is obviously where we managed to achieve our third mark of excellence, and we were pretty close if I remember rightly. And let's say, when I actually got the third mark on this tank, it was quite a while ago. This is one that's been sitting in the vault for a wee bit, and I thought with the release of the 7032, it's probably just worth putting it out there. Because like I say, if you look at the tank, it basically looks like it. If you look at the gun's similar, except for, I say gun is the guns versus guns. Gun versus guns. Double barrels. Double barrels, people. Double barrels. So, you know, obviously, like, the 7032 has the same gun, but it's got two of the same gun. And its mobility is fairly similar. Its armor's similar. It just has the ability to double shot. So I thought, why not, you know, bring out this Scourge video and finally release it? Because, like I say, it's been sitting in the vault for a wee while, and it really should have been released quite a while ago. So we're on the second replay, and the second replay, as far as I remember, I think I've got it in the notes somewhere, I was at 94.8, and when I was going for this third mark, it was about 3.2k damage to start seeing some kind of movement. So once you got over the 3.2k damage, you basically started to go up. So I think about 3.5, 3.6k damage was seeing like a 0.3, 0.4 rise. So I knew that all I had to do was get up to that 3.2, 3.3k damage, and I was probably going to end up getting there and getting the third mark of excellence. So we're on this map, which is Nomini Nom. And on Nomini Nom, we got the perfect spawn. I don't really like getting the other spawn on Nomenhan. I like this spawn that we got so much better because you can get those good flanking shots across at the people that sit on these ridges, and you can also get some good assistance damage as well if your team plays ball. You can push very, very aggressively from our spawn, which is something that struggles a little bit from the enemy spawn. And you can see we're starting to manage to get the damage out on these tanks as they're crossing. We're in a very, very favourable matchup as well, which helps just even more trying to get that third mark of excellence for the tank. Sometimes when you're that close and you see this sort of matchup, it can be a blessing, but it can also be a curse, right? And what do I mean by that? So the blessing, because, hey, I can be super duper aggressive, and I'm not going to struggle as much and get wrecked very, very quickly. You know, face the tier 6s and quite a lot of the tier 7s and 8s. Obviously, my armor will work perfectly fine, and my gun will be phenomenal against them. But it could be a curse as well, because the hit points in these kinds of games can drop very, very quickly. If you don't keep up with it, these games end super duper quickly, and before you know it, your chances of getting that damage that's required of third marks just fly out the window, and you go, where did all the tanks go? You know, it's that kind of thing. So we're up to 1,300 damage so far with 1,000 assistance, so actually, realistically, I need about 1,000 more damage, and I'm not dropping, and I'm starting to gain. So we just need, like, 2 or 3 more shots. This charioteer drives out and gives us a lovely shot, which is great. We're up to 2.7k combined, make that 3k combined now. So I know that I'm already getting there. I'm already getting there for this Kirovets-1, for this Scourge. I just need to get a couple more shots. And at the minute, there is, you know, a good slog of tanks down the K line. So this Dragon is one that I really have to go in on. I really have to go in on this guy, get the damage off on him. Because once I start to get all the damage that he's got, or all the HP he's got, I'm probably within the realms of getting it. Oh, thank you, Mr. Bert the Avenger. That was very kind of you. We got the shot into the Dragon into his back as well. We're trying to swivel, swivel, swivel. I know that I'll reload in time to kill him, and we end up finishing off the Dragon as well. But unfortunately, we didn't quite get all of his hit points. We're down to 394 hit points ourselves, though, so we do have to be a little bit careful if we're going in on some of the tanks, because they might be able to shut us down in one shot. We don't want that. But we're at, what, 3.5k combined? So at this point, I'm thinking, there's a possibility. There's a possibility I've gone beyond that 95% range now. But you never want to settle, especially if you're going for the third mark of a tank. You never want to settle and think, that damage should do it, because there might be some sort of calculation somewhere that just goes, you know what, I'm going to put you on 94.99. And you sit there going, but why? You know, and you don't end up getting there, and then you play the next game and you get absolutely obliterated, and that's that, and it's frustrating. So you really never want to settle. You never want to go, okay, that's fine, I should have it now. I'm still not going to play too aggressively now. I'm just going to play a bit more calm. You still want to get in, get the damage, and push out the rounds if you can. Just get as much, just keep that damage ticking up and up and up. And shots like on that HMH Super Sherman are ones that are definitely frustrating, where we actually managed to get the shot in, and it hit him just as he died, so we didn't get the damage. But that one, you can see we super duper made sure that we were getting that shot into the cupola of that KV-5. Because, again, every shot counts, and I'm at the point where it's kind of like, I think we might have it, but I really want to just make sure I'm getting the damage. So in other games, I might have just snapped the shot a little bit quicker at that KV-5's cupola, but I really made sure that the gun was fully aimed into that guy to get the kill. Or to not get the kill, but get the full damage shot. Now there's the KV-5 left on the enemy team. He is full health, which is glorious. Hopefully we can get 2 or 3 shells into him. He is the last one alive, though, so the likelihood of getting all of his hit points is low. But he's looking at the other guy. We get a shot straight through the side of his turret, because we have heat loaded, which is really going to help to get through this guy's droids and the side of his turret and stuff. We go for the droid of the KV-5, just as we fire, the rover ends up slamming in straight into our back end, which makes us miss and hit the other droid and bounce. But we get another shot straight through the droid there of the KV-5. He's got 219 hit points left. Hopefully we get the shot in to finish him off and get that little bit extra damage, which we do. We finish the game with not the most impressive total at 3.5k damage and 1300 assistance, but that's 4.7k combined. Finished with 4 kills, 4.7k combined. The first class, the steel wall, and the third mark of excellence with 1792 base XP. Really nice game for the Scourge Kirovets-1, and it's a nice way to top it off and finish it off. And it's always nice when you're that close and you know it's just like, once you get over the certain number, you can just breathe a little easier. And it was nice to finish off the Scourge Kirovets-1 because it's one that I've always enjoyed playing, because I've always loved the gun, I've always loved the mobility and the armour. But now you've got the double barrel version that's out there these days as well. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!